Grand Prix of Cleveland on ABC Sports. Brought to you by FedEx, proud sponsor of the FedEx Championship Series.
Welcome back to Marconi Grand Prix of Cleveland. Paul Page with Parker Johnstone. Roberto Moreno still leads it. Nothing's changed. Then Breck, then Franchitti. The Budweiser Hard Charger Award is the 8th of the 20th races. And big spin.
Mauricio Gugelmin has gone off. He was having a bit of a battle there. Got into turn 3. Back in, started to come around. Keeps it running.
Mauricio was trying to make some moves, trying to get something working. And that was, the start of that was pretty quick and violent. Mauricio got it recovered. We're back to the front.
He was having a battle with Gilles de Ferran. Gilles, remember, suffering from a brake problem. Gilles trying to hold on. There you can see they come in. He gets hit in the back by Gilles de Ferran. You can see the wing damage on the left front of Gilles' car there.
Remember, de Ferran's been having brake problems, but he stayed in the fight.
And you can see he came across and Gilles left the apex and didn't give him any room. Here he is trying to go around the outside of Norberto Fontana side by side. No problem here. He cuts back for the apex. Gilles comes in a ton and just rams him in the back. You can see, I expect that there's not only damage from the left front wing on de Ferran's car, but also suspension. Mauricio Gugelmin, there's Fontana. He lets him go, turns in. Whoa, got speared.
And that put de Ferran on pit road. Gary Gerould.
Yes, indeed. You can see a huge tire mark on the left side of the front nose and damage to the wing. He came in dead stick, wheels out. Apparently there's suspension problems as well. Looks like the race is complete. And the Penske streak that had been building such great momentum, having won 3 of the last 4, will be temporarily sidetracked here at Cleveland.
Yeah, you saw the bend in the link.
Yeah, you can see that upper wishbone is just hammered. A big bow in it, his day's done.
And Parker, we can just add a footnote. Apparently the contact related to the fact of that brake problem we've been talking about for the last hour, and Gilles de Ferran just couldn't get the car wound up and got into Gugelmin.
As we suspected, back to the front of the field, Roberto Moreno, followed by Breck, Franchitti, and Cristiano D'Amata. Jan Bikas on Dario.
Yeah, speaking of Dario Franchitti, remember that he has the Honda power plant, so he's got a lot of pressure here because they have a streak on temporary circuits of 16 victories in a row, and right now we've got 2 Fords at the front. So Honda's looking for number 50 and 16, or rather 17 in a row on temporary circuits. So a lot riding with Dario, and of course he's very eager to get up in the championship as well.
The last time Honda didn't win a temporary course was back with Mauricio Gugelmin's victory in 1997 at Vancouver. But it looks like this might be Ford's day. Keep in mind, Cristiano D'Amata with the Toyota power in 4th place, trying to hound Cristiano D'Amata to look for his first podium in the Kart Series.
9 laps complete for the leader of the race, Roberto Moreno, the pole sitter, the points leader coming into this event. Can he hold on? Ford, 1st and 2nd. Honda sits 3rd at the Marconi Grand Prix of Cleveland. Burke Lakefront Airport, Roberto Moreno, who just made that little right-hander, may be looking at his first ever career win in the FedEx Series. Cristiano D'Amata made a move on Franchitti, and that fight continues. Michael Andretti is right there as well. So with that one little change, that's been the only one we've seen, but here Michael wants to change it once again. He gets inside of Franchitti.
Well, Dario's either got it leaned way back or he's got some sort of problem.
Bring it home. To go.
He's got some sort of problem because where D'Amata passed him going into the chicane is a very unusual place to pass. We can see the smoke.
He jumps all over the brake, gets way wide. Jan Bikas.
Yes, prior to that, Paul, he had some handling difficulties. In fact, the crew had called him and said go full stiff on the rear anti-roll bar. So it appears it's not that he's running lean, he's got handling difficulties.
Patrick Carpentier just got around Dario Franchitti.
It had to be one of the two because you can see he's just very,
now Montoya gets him. Gary Gerould.
Gilles de Ferran now out of the car. How tough was it to drive with the brake problem that you had to experience virtually the whole afternoon?
Well, basically by myself, I could just about deal with it because I was just simply not braking and just banging down the gears. But whenever there was somebody around me, I simply couldn't do anything about it. And
is that what happened with Gugelmin?
Yeah, basically they were fighting for position. That they all stopped in front of me. Man, I'm pumping the brakes, and I'm really ashamed. We were just trying to get some points. It's a shame. It really happened very early on, right at the beginning of the race when I was following Moreno. Just pedal kept getting longer and longer and longer, and finally I had no brakes at all.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
7 to go. Roberto Moreno continues to be the dominant driver in this race, looking for win number 1. I'm assuming with that fast little caution that fuel may have gone out of the picture.
And I assume it has it now. I think everybody's good to go to the end. It's just a matter of how much they can turn it up. We've heard that Moreno's been told that he can crank it all the way up. We know certainly Montoya's got enough fuel to do that. And it appears that Breck, Cristiano D'Amato, and Michael Andretti can also do it. We just don't know how hard and how much fuel they can use, but certainly they should all be able to make it to the checkered flag.
You can easily see the interval. Here is first place. Kenny Breck is chasing him.
And historically, this has been the twilight zone time for Cleveland, where strange things happen in the last few laps of this race.
Remember that all of these cars have been tortured on this circuit. The gearboxes, half shafts, constant velocity joints taking the brunt of the torture of constantly bouncing over bumps, because after all, this is firstly an airport. And Franchitti slows finally.
Mate, I think you'll find Max parked down there too.
Turn around, you just park over there and say hello to Max. Dario Franchitti, again one of those that tried to stay with it, but finally he pulls off course. Jan Beekes?
Yes, and he called back and said it's gearbox related. So yes, he had handling difficulties, but in the end, it was the gearbox that's put him out.
Well, and therein is the precaution, because Roberto Moreno has been flawless to this point, but several times today we've seen just suddenly a mechanical problem attack, and it's over.
And it doesn't have to be the driveline. It can be the radiator hangers, the fittings, anything on the car. Even a very small part can cripple one of these cars, and they take a tremendous beating. Last night, walking through the paddock, though, in preparation for this event, the mechanics were fitting new uprights, suspension pieces, new gearbox, half shafts, everything new just for this afternoon.
It's going to be awful tough to take this away from Roberto Moreno. Kenny Breck's going to try and do it. In fact, he inches a little forward on Roberto Moreno, but Moreno has waited so long, I wouldn't want to be the guy to have to try and pass him. Interval first to second. There it is on the pit straight.
To go. Breck's getting a little close.
Jim McGee talks to Roberto Moreno.
And the reason he said that lap, Kenny picked up 1.8 seconds. It was 2.9. He cut it down to 1.1. You can see he's right in the picture now. Obviously filling the mirrors of Roberto Moreno with that yellow shell paint scheme.
If you weren't with us at the beginning, you may not know that there will be a fairly large ceremony that will involve the shaving of a head down in the pit area if he would win this. Jan?
Yes, that's right. We have a whole bunch of people on the Visteon crew very excited except for one. And that would be Bud Bivens, who has agreed with Roberto Moreno that if he wins this race, that this hair is gone. I think after this race, they're going to go back to the transporter and we'll see a bald guy next race.
Better get the shaving cream out.
Yeah, Curly Bud may be in trouble, but Kenny Breck's going to try and rescue him. Breck is still inching in on him.
And Cristiano D'Amato cutting the interval to Breck as well. This time across line, Kenny Breck, another 10th closer, just over a second. With D'Amato 9/10 behind Kenny Breck.
Breck's second place is not safe either with D'Amato there.
Kenny Breck, last year's Indy 500 champion, looking to improve. He's had one podium finish happen at Nazareth earlier in the year, looking for a second one. He's been quick all year long, but just had a whole series of things go wrong that's kept him out of victory lane. And D'Amato, with his best qualifying of the year in 5th, fell back to 17th, remember, has now worked his way back up into 3rd spot, looking for his first kart podium finish.
15 years, 2 days ago. 15 years and 2 days. Roberto Moreno made his first start in kart. Now, 70 races later, he's looking at the possibility of his very first win.
He pulled out 2/10 of a second on that lap. He's extended it to 1.2. Cristiano D'Amato, though, right behind Kenny Breck, only 6/10 back.
You saw Cristiano D'Amata close a bit on Kenny Breck. If they finish this way, Moreno, Breck, D'Amata, it will be the best career finish for all three. And it will keep the points battle for the CART FedEx Series still extremely tight, with the exception of Moreno, who came into this race as the points leader, and he will pick up the points for winning, single point for leading the most laps, and a single point for the pole. Onto the pit straight. White flag. 2 miles to go for Roberto Moreno. D'Amata drops back off of Breck. Might be looking to take a run on him coming off of here.
I think for all three of these drivers on the last lap, all they want to do is find the finish line. It's a personal best for each. Sure, they'll attack, but they can't afford to make a mistake and throw it away. If D'Amata gets an opportunity, certainly he'll take a run at Kenny Breck, but not at the expense of making a mistake and not ending up on the podium.
Michael Andretti currently 4th. He'll move into 2nd in that points fight. 22 points behind Roberto Moreno. But Roberto Moreno is the name you want to hear now.
Only 2 corners to go now.
Everything that's been necessary, Roberto's done it. He's probably crying already in that car. He's an extraordinarily emotional man. The final 2 turns, Roberto Moreno turns onto the pit straight, and Roberto Moreno has done it. Finally, in 9 races, 8 different winners, but Roberto Moreno is the king.
So we can get on TV. We need you to get in here fast. So we can get on
And I'm going to just show this thing off. We have asked him to try.
So get in here as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's true. We want to talk to him. We've asked him to get around because we're running out of time here. But Roberto Moreno, 3rd first-time winner this year. Celebrate, Bobby!
Good winner.
Our next race from the FedEx Series on ABC Sports will be the Michigan 500 on the 23rd of July.
Okay, don't forget to get up there by the TV deal. You know where to stop. Opposite the players' pit. Do I go in the pit? Do I go in the pit?
Well,
no,
when you're...
you stop at the players' pit, about halfway down.
And we'll have coverage the Molson Indy in 2 weeks. And there's the planned programming for that weekend. New winner, you have no idea where you're going.
Come in the pit lane about halfway down.
Look for Gary Gerould, Roberto.
And what a popular victory with everyone here. You see the photographers, the other crews cheering him on.
Everyone is running down. Crews all up and down the pits have come down to congratulate Roberto Moreno. Roberto Moreno has taken the victory in the Marconi Grand Prix of Cleveland. Gary Gerould.
They're pulling the helmet off, trying to get it disconnected. He's still down, obviously, in the cockpit. Tears for Moreno here, and they're having a difficult time. We are almost out of time. Roberto, we only have seconds, Roberto. What is the feeling after all these years to finally have it happen, to experience victory?
Fantastic. It's just a feeling I cannot describe. It's almost as good as when my daughters were born. It's fantastic. 1988 was the last time I raced competitive like this. Formula 3000 was a struggle. Thank you very much, the Vision people. It's fantastic to be part of this great team, and we're growing together. And pretty soon I'll be on my 100% form.
We've got to run. Unfortunately, we're out of time. He comes out. A wild celebration is going to erupt here right now. Look at the Brazilian.
A substitute last year. We called him the Super Sub as our final Toyota Spotlight takes a look at some of the action here today, including that mix-up on the first lap. ABC Sports is online at abcsports.com, part of the Go Network. For Parker Johnstone, Gary Gerould, Jan Vikas, this is Paul Page. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.